one trial that I served actually on the independent review committee for was the ASPIRE study, and that's being presented by Keith Stewart on Sunday. That's, again, a groundbreaking study. What it shows is that the combination of carfilzomib combined with lenalidomide and dexamethasone compared to lenalidomide and dexamethasone results in about an 8-month difference in progression-free survival. Now, that's extraordinarily large. It's also unprecedented because the total duration of responses and progression-free survivals were huge. Lenalidomide and dexamethasone enjoyed a PFS of 18 months. The carfilzomib RD arm enjoyed 26 months. That's where the difference came. Now, we've seen this before, but not of the same magnitude. When we combined bortezomib, thalidomide, and dexamethasone versus thalidomide and dexamethasone, which was the Gardaret trial from France, the PFS difference was 6 months for that study. But the duration of responses for both arms was not as long. So this is really, I think, very important work. And it shows us that the platform of optimal proteasome inhibition, optimal immunomodulation really does benefit our patients. So the ASPIRE trial is a very important highlight of the meeting. In the same session, Torben Plesner is presenting daratumumab combined with lenalidomide and dexamethasone. Unprecedented results again. I think, honestly, the CD38 targeting monoclonal antibodies I predict in myeloma are Rituxan. I think they are going to provide us with a completely novel mechanism of action that's going to be a game changer for patients. And in the same context, obviously we have other new agents coming down the pike. Elotuzumab is the other great antibody class, or antibody. It's specific against SLAMF7, or as it used to be called, CS1. And we're presenting data showing that when you combine elotuzumab with lenalidomide and dexamethasone in relapsed and relapsed refractory patients with 1 to 3 prior lines of treatment, really amazing progression-free survival. It's actually approximately 33 months, which is huge, and that's in the relapse setting. So, ASPIRE was 26 months. With elotuzumab RD, we're at 33. You can see where I'm going with this, recognizing you have to be careful about cross-trial comparisons, but I think it's a very exciting meeting. And for patients, I think it means continuum of hope, and also the reality of imminent approvals, for example, for carfilzomib, full approval. The antibodies hopefully will see approvals next year and the year after. And also I would stress the histone deacetylase story is getting sort of sorted out. There was a very tough regulatory submission for panobinostat that was frankly a learning curve. There was lessons learned there. But what was clear is that there was activity of panobinostat, and at this meeting there are various abstracts, including an excellent presentation from the British group, showing that when you combine panobinostat with bortezomib, thalidomide, and dexamethasone, you see remarkable results. The key thing is the tolerability. And what the British team did, led by Jamie Kavanagh, was to give the bortezomib on a weekly schedule, subcutaneously, and showed a fantastic tolerability profile compared to what we had seen with the more traditional approaches with intravenous bortezomib. The other thing in the UK trial is that they combined thalidomide with bortezomib, dexamethasone, and panobinostat. And so that 4-drug platform was both active and well tolerated. And there are other studies in the HDAC world as well. There's a super little molecule called ricolinostat, which is an HDAC6 inhibitor, which we're directly involved in the clinical trials that are currently ongoing. And there are 2 presentations showing this combination either with lenalidomide or with bortezomib is both well tolerated generally, some side effects, but very much better than we'd expect based upon what we've experienced before with voronostat and panobinostat. And so with that platform, I think we're going to see HDACs emerge, we're going to see the monoclonal antibodies already make a huge impact, and these second-generation proteasome inhibitors continue to really yield clinical benefit. And finally, there's more data on POM, which is just a beautiful immunomodulatory drug. It's well tolerated and very active. And I think in that context, the POM data are particularly impressive. There's an oral presentation by Dr. Lacey for a trial which we're part of, where with the weekly bortezomib and 3 weekly pomalidomide, 1 week off, in the relapsed refractory setting, she's reporting response rates approaching 90%. That's extraordinary. So I think a very exciting meeting, and all round a lot of positives.